What is it?
It's a movie prop made of 45 pounds of lead that has a connection to the Black Dahlia murder. That clip, of course, is from the Maltese Falcon from 1941, starring Humphrey Bogart, which is based on the book by Dashiell Hammett from 1929. Now, the original Maltese Falcon prop, the one made from 45 pounds of lead, still survives and is owned by Steve Wynn, who owns several casinos in Las Vegas, and is one of the most valuable movie props ever sold at over $4 million. There are also 2 plaster casts of that are also believed to come from the 1941 film. Now, the Maltese Falcon prop was designed by artist Fred Sexton, but we'll get back to him later. Now, in 1947, the mutilated and bisected corpse of actress Elizabeth Short was found in Los Angeles, and she would become known simply as the Black Dahlia. Now, her disappearance and murder would actually lead to an enormous amount of publicity because of the horrific nature of the crime. Now, there were over 150 suspects in that crime, but in 1950, the District Attorney's Office of Los Angeles had narrowed it down to 1. Dr. George Hodel was an American physician living in Los Angeles and was already suspected in the murder of his secretary to cover up financial crimes. He was also accused in the molestation of his daughter, Tamar, along with an accomplice, Fred Sexton. Now, in court testimony, Fred Sexton testified to being involved in the molestation of George Hodel's daughter, along with several other crimes of a sexual nature. But before he could be formally charged, he fled to Mexico to avoid arrest, where at the age of 60, he married a teenager and then died at the age of 80. Now, George Hodel was questioned several times, including in 1949, where he was suspected of the murder of Louise Stringer. Now, after 1950, he fled to the Philippines and didn't return to the United States until 1990, and was never formally charged with the crime, passing away in 1999 in San Francisco. Now, after his death, his son, then a Los Angeles police detective, wanted to learn more about his father as their relationship was estranged. And after digging through his personal belongings, found a photo album with photographs that are strongly believed to be that of an unconscious or already deceased Elizabeth Short. In 2003, in the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, a file was found that said George Hodel, Black Dahlia, where it was revealed that George Hodel was in fact the sole suspect in the Black Dahlia murder, and it was believed that Fred Sexton had first-hand or second-hand knowledge of the murder. Because he was an artist, he apparently painted it. This painting, entitled The Death of Mona Lisa, painted in 1955 by Fred Sexton, depicts details that only folks that were directly involved with the investigation knew, and details that were not released until many years later. Now, within the file discovered in 2003, it also gave up details of an operation where George Hodel's house was bugged, and where he gave up details about the death of both Elizabeth Short and his secretary, Ruth Spaulding. But to this day, the crime remains officially unsolved. Props to history.